Assalamu alaikum friends. Today I'm with a very professional gentleman, Mr. Shafiq Mohammad. He's a accountant by profession. Assalamu alaikum, sir. It's been a pleasure to see you in your office today with regards to an interview on the life being abroad. Actually, I did many interviews of the officials such as mayors, lord mayors, councillors, professionals, business directors. I would like to know a little bit about your history. My first question would be, when did you migrate to the UK?
First of all, thank you very much for having me on your platform. My arrival in this country was back in 1978. I was merely 12-year-old then, and since then went to school when I arrived here. My parents were here who actually invited me to join my parents with my family. And then I went to the local school, then college and university. And obviously, as you suggested, following very hard work, I managed to then become a professional chartered accountant, and then worked for many big firms in south of England and north of England, and then finally settled in here and opened my own practice.
Would you like to share a little bit about of your sacrifices that you made when you was migrated and during the journey to become a professional accountant in the UK?
Yeah. Well, obviously, when I arrived in England and I went to the local school, I was the only immigrant in the whole class, and my class was about 30-odd children in the local school. And you can imagine walking into a school, and I barely knew a word of English. And there were hardly any immigrants in at the time that I arrived. So there were very little friends that you could actually relate yourself to, because you had a language barrier as a barrier for myself. So that was the initial struggle at school level, and then as the time progressed and you picked up your English gradually, and then we obviously as we grew older, I went to a bit higher education. And the struggle didn't stop there. It got tougher and tougher because in our days we didn't go to private schools, or we didn't have private tuition. Everything left upon ourselves to work hard, and it was a very, very difficult journey from school to college and then college to university.
As you said, you was migrated with a family. Was it easy for you to relocate, migrate without your friends, especially those who you were playing with in back home?
Yeah, that was obviously initially when I first arrived, I knew no word of English. I had no friends in this country. I left all my school friends behind back in Pakistan. So for me this was a very strange island, and the very first 12 months was almost like a nightmare to me, and it was difficult to think that I'm going to be living here for a long time.
Would you like to share your imaginations when you was traveling first time on the plane?
Oh God, that was my very first journey. First time I actually sat on the plane, and at the same time I'm excited, but at the same time it was a very different experience, not knowing that that I'm going to be in the air for such a long time. So it's unbelievable. The words can't describe what I went through then. But at the same time, I'm absolutely excited about the journey itself.
Have you ever realized that how far you have gone through English language, especially, which was a barrier for you at the beginning days, at the start?
Yeah, like I said, I think it's a bit of a coincidence. At the early age when I came here, there was no, like you have now, there was no immediate support available for people like new immigrants in terms of English language support or additional English lessons as such. So we had to actually work through the rest of the crowd. A big struggle. I didn't think I'd ever actually pull through the education system because of my language issue, because of my language barrier. But I think it came through sheer hard work and determination to succeed. And I had a parent support who was supporting me to study as well. So there was a determination and my self-belief and confidence that I could do it. But I know that it wasn't easy. And I know many of my colleagues who came at similar time to me kind of dropped out of education. And very, very few of us actually pulled it through. So I consider that it was almost like a miracle for me coming through all this, and especially the age that I came, and the major English barrier, language barrier that I faced, and then having to study everything in English and not knowing the language. You can imagine how difficult it would have been for us.
Have you ever imagined or dreamed to be an accountant in the UK?
again, pure accident, I think. I personally, when I came and struggled in school, and after that I was struggled in college as well. There's no way beyond my dream. I had ever thought I would actually go to university, let alone become a professional accountant. But I think my dedicated support from my parents, who gave me a huge push to carry on regardless, and then my self-determination, and they've built a confidence in myself that I can do something like this. But never beyond my dream. I thought I actually pulled it through, because I thought I almost thought at one time it was impossible.
Those immigrants who were migrated back in 1960s and 1980s, and they are professional today as accountant, solicitor, barrister, mayor, councillor, I call them, they have break the barriers and they gone beyond imagination. Are you agreed with that?
Absolutely. I think that those days we're talking about, when I came early, late 70s, and people before me, my parents for instance, they had very little opportunity that the people have it now. We were not given anything on the plate as such. Everything that we had to go for, we had to achieve, we just had to work for it, and we had to struggle, because there were no set platform for us to go and seek help. And it was almost like trial and error thing, that you work, you try, and sometimes you succeed, sometimes you fail. Some people actually who didn't have the self belief, I believe, or self confidence, kind of gave up. So many people, I believe, must have been given up, but very few people struggled and pulled it through. But it was the people who've done it, I think I look up to them, and my hat's off to them.
What would be your message for those who migrate without family, without friends, without having anybody in the UK, with unlimited barriers? They start their life from the airport.
I think the people who are coming now, I understand that the people who come here without families, it's a struggle, financial struggle, particularly in current climate. The job market's not very good, the employment prospects not very good, and especially those who leave their families behind and are on their own. At least they have a bit more community here now, and we do have large community here. We have a lot of community centres, so there's a lot of even though they may not be a close family members, but you can call them extended family members, because we are here from the same country, same background. So from community perspective, I think we can give them, we can help them, we can support them. But I can understand from their perspective, coming here with no family members, no immediate family members, I can see the lonely life that they are going through, and they must be struggling a lot, and it's not easy. But again, nothing can be achieved without hard work. Determination must be there. They must have dedication for the work that they're here to do, and they must have self-conviction and self-belief in them. I don't think, in this country in particularly, I don't think there are any barriers anymore. I think as long as you're willing to work hard, this country gives you the opportunity to achieve it.
Friends, 12 years old young boy was migrated back in 1960s, 70s, and today he's a professional accountant. Thank you so much, Mr. Shafiq, for your honorable time and valuable time. Thank you.